My child, pause for a moment. Do not look away, and do not allow your thoughts to run toward the next thing. I need you to hear me now because this message has not come too late. It is not here by chance. It was reserved for this exact moment, and I need you to receive it. I am speaking because something has just changed. You surprised me. Yes, you did. At last you did it. And before you question those words, before you make this moment seem smaller than it really is, listen carefully to my voice. I am not surprised because I did not know what you were capable of. I am not amazed because I ever questioned you. I say this because you finally stepped into what I have been waiting for you to trust. You moved even while fear was speaking loudly. You chose faith while your hands still trembled. You did what you had delayed for so long, and heaven noticed. This matters today. Not tomorrow. Not one day later. Now. But I also need to tell you the truth, and I will speak plainly. There is a reason this word nearly did not reach you. The enemy did not want you hearing this. He wanted your attention elsewhere. He wanted you moving from one empty distraction to another, because what I am about to say will uncover his work. He has worked against you in ways you did not recognize, through your habits, your thoughts, and the people you allowed near you. He has whispered lies into your mind, saying you are too weak, too damaged, too far away for me to use you, and slowly you began believing him. That is exactly what he wanted. To keep you trapped, discouraged, and unable to see what I placed within you. But hear the truth now from my own voice. The enemy has no authority over a child of mine who remains firm. He can tempt you. He can deceive you. But he cannot ruin you unless you place the key in his hand. So this message brings two things, and you need both. It carries my joy because you finally acted. And it brings my warning, because what you have entered must now be protected. A door has opened. And every open door attracts two kinds of visitors. My purpose and his plans. Do not become afraid because of that. I am not speaking to frighten you. I am speaking to prepare you. A loving father does more than celebrate his child. He prepares the child too. Today I will do both. Let me return to that moment because I do not want you moving past it too quickly. I saw the breath you drew before saying yes. I watched you act even while your mind still carried questions. I saw you decide that perfect conditions were no longer necessary. That is why I speak urgently now, because hesitation has taken enough days from you, and this season is about moving. Do you notice that mixture of excitement and fear in your chest? That is not confusion. It is awakening. Something within you finally agreed with what I have been quietly telling you for so long. And I am calling your attention to it now so doubt cannot enter and change the meaning of this moment. Doubt is a thief that often arrives quickly after faith takes action. It will say that nothing truly happened. It will say the step was too small, that nothing changed, that you only imagined my hand upon it. Do not listen to that voice, not even briefly. Remain with me until this message is finished. Do not hurry away. This is not meaningless noise. This is guidance, and I still have much more to speak over your life today. You are not behind. I need you to hear this clearly, because you have compared your life with other people for too long. You saw their speed and decided you were slow. You saw their harvest and decided you had nothing. But I do not compare my children with one another. I measure each heart by its own calling, and your heart has just responded. You surprised me. Not because I expected less from you, but because you finally trusted me enough to move. There is a difference between knowing what your child can do and finally hearing that child say yes. I have always known what lives inside you. Now you are beginning to recognize it too. That is what changed today. And when faith begins to rise within your heart, let it also be reflected through an act of trust. My precious child, I am asking you now to do something that moves beyond words into action. Place a portion of your provision on the stone altar of this ministry as a living covenant of trust. Let what you release from your hand be the proof that you believe my hand will provide. This is not a transaction but a declaration. A holy act that says, I trust the giver more than the gift. Press your seed into the soil of this kingdom work, and watch as the harvest, that has been waiting behind the dam of your release, comes flooding through the vaults of heaven in response to surrendered hands. Open yours and see what I am holding for you on the other side. Now return your heart to what I am showing you, because there is still something important I need you to understand. And because you moved, other things are moving too. Not everything at the same time. I rarely work like that. But the ground beneath your life has shifted, and what was closed has started to loosen. Your hands may not feel it yet, but your spirit recognized it. That is why you are here listening instead of being in 100 other places. So allow my words to settle inside you. Let them enter the rooms in your heart that have stayed closed for years. Some of those rooms carry old disappointments. Others hold questions you stopped asking because the silence became too painful. Today I will enter those rooms with you, one after another, and I will not leave any of them exactly as they were. This is only the start, my child. What you started with courage, I plan to establish with strength. But strength requires truth, and truth requires listening. Not listening that agrees for a moment and then forgets, but listening that changes the way a life is lived. So quiet everything around you. Put down whatever you were carrying when these words reached you. For this next part of the road, let it be only you and me. I have waited a long time for this conversation. I am not rushing, and I will not speak over your heart. I will speak directly into it. Breathe slowly. Relax your hands. What I am about to show you concerns the step you just made, the battle surrounding it, and the road opening beyond it. Nothing I say today is meant to shame you. Everything is meant to make you steady. So listen to every word until the end. Declare your amen now if your heart is ready to hear me. Now I need you to understand something deeply and clearly. I saw all of it. Not only the moment when you finally moved, but every moment that came before it. The moments nobody else noticed. The ones you carried alone in silence. I saw the nights when you stayed awake thinking through the same thoughts again and again. Wondering why something that seemed simple for others felt so difficult for you. I saw the days when you smiled outwardly while feeling trapped and frustrated inside. You were never hidden from me. Not for 1 hour of one day. I saw you hesitate, and I did not judge you because of it. I understood why. You were not weak. You carried more than you ever explained to anyone. You were trying to remain strong while fighting fear, disappointment, and doubt about yourself all at once. I heard the question you whispered in the darkness. What if I fail? And I heard the deeper fear beneath that question. The fear you never spoke aloud. What if I try and nothing becomes different? My child, I heard every thought, including those that never became words. There were times when you almost stopped believing in yourself. Times you thought, maybe this was never meant for me. Maybe I waited too long. Maybe my chance is already gone. I watched you pull away when you wanted to move ahead. I saw you wait because another disappointment frightened you. And through all of it, I remained close. I did not hurry you, because during that long season of waiting, your heart was learning something no shortcut could teach. You were not rejecting me. You were growing even when it seemed nothing was changing. I was quietly making you stronger. I was teaching you endurance. I was teaching you wisdom. I was shaping your heart so when you finally acted, you would act sincerely, not because you felt pressured. That is why I recognized this moment immediately when it arrived. This was not some random choice. It was the harvest of everything you had walked through. I know there were seasons when you felt misunderstood, even by people near you. You felt no one really understood what it cost you simply to keep moving, simply to choose hope again. But I knew. I counted every time you decided to remain instead of giving up. I received every prayer that sounded more like a breath than a sentence. And I answered more of those prayers than you know. Now listen closely because I am going to show you what truly happened when you moved. What you did was not mainly about courage. It was not about ability or strength or finally understanding everything. It was about alignment. The instant you acted while uncertainty was still present, your heart came into agreement with my voice. That is what shifted everything. For a long time, you thought you had to feel prepared before you could act. You believed peace had to come first. Confidence had to come first. Understanding had to come first. But that was never the order I gave you. I do not wait for your emotions to take the lead. I respond to faith. And faith is not a life without fear. Faith is choosing me while fear is still talking. There is a difference between feeling prepared and being aligned. Readiness is a feeling. It rises and falls. It depends on how your week has gone, what someone said, and whether the situation looks right. Alignment is a choice made by the heart. It happens when you stop asking fear what to do and begin asking me. Many people wait for years until they finally feel ready. And while they wait, they pass by the very thing I prepared for them. You broke that cycle. You chose movement instead of comfort. You chose faith instead of control. And now I need you to release the belief that obedience must look perfect before it carries power. You thought your hesitation disqualified you. You believed your doubt held me back. But I have always worked through imperfect people who were simply willing. Moses argued with me beside the burning bush. Gideon asked twice for confirmation. Peter began sinking in the same water he had enough faith to step onto. I still used each of them. What mattered was never how perfect the step appeared. What mattered was that you took it. That is why heaven responded when you moved. Not because you impressed me, but because you trusted me enough to act without knowing every result. I was never keeping something from you. I was waiting for your choice to agree with what I had already placed within you. I was not punishing you or testing how long you could endure. I was waiting like a father beside a door he had already opened. When that alignment came, things started moving. Doors you could never force open through effort will now begin opening through grace. Not because you earned them, but because you came into agreement with me. This does not mean everything becomes easy immediately, but it does mean you are no longer trapped. You are no longer walking circles around the same lesson. Something changed inside you, and the inside always changes before the outside. I also want to correct a lie you have carried too long. You believed I was disappointed because it took you so much time. I was not. Growth requires time, and maturity cannot be forced. What matters is not when you moved compared with someone else. What matters is that you finally moved with your whole heart. Your sincerity matters more to me than your speed. Keep this truth close. You did not take that step alone. You moved with me. And where alignment begins, momentum follows. This is why this moment is not like all the other times you tried to change. This is why it will not be wasted. Say, I believe, if these words are touching your spirit now. Now I want to teach you what follows obedience, because the step you took did not finish something. It opened something. You have entered new ground, and new ground must be protected. Ground that has been gained can be surrendered again when nobody guards it. So listen carefully, because I am going to show you how the enemy works, and how your heart remains free. But first, understand what this season requires from you. It requires open hands. For years you held tightly to your life, protecting every part of it. You decided that keeping things meant safety and controlling things meant peace. That grip helped keep you stuck. The step you took was the first time that grip loosened. Now I am asking you to loosen it more, because trust that costs you nothing changes nothing. Everything you have came through my hands before reaching yours. The strength in your body when you wake. The work your hands can do. The provision that reached you during seasons when the numbers did not make sense. You have never carried yourself alone, even on days when you were sure everything depended on you. Remembering this does not burden you. It frees you, because a heart that knows where its supply comes from can release without fear. My child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of real weight, upon the altar of this work, as gold laid on the scales of this calling. Let it be a seed sown into deep water, an offering set on stone, not held back in fear. This is proof that your trust rests in my hand to provide, and that your heart no longer clings to lack. What you release in faith does not leave your life. It moves ahead of you into the harvest I am preparing. Now remain with me, because what comes next will protect everything you have started. The enemy also saw you take that step, and I need you to understand how he responds when one of my children begins moving, because his answer is rarely loud. Usually it begins small. He does not have to destroy you. He only needs to turn you slightly away from the road. One small compromise, one little choice you convince yourself does not matter. A habit you believe is under control, a conversation you decide is harmless. He knows how to wait. If he can make you agree to something small today, tomorrow he can ask for something bigger. And slowly, if you keep agreeing, you can reach the point where you no longer recognize the difference between my will and your own desires. You may tell yourself it is not serious, because your life still appears fine on the outside. You continue praying. You still gather among my people. But an open door does not have to appear dangerous in order to become dangerous. It only needs to remain open long enough, and he will use every opening you offer. My word speaks clearly. Stay sober-minded. Stay alert. Your enemy moves around like a roaring lion, searching for someone he can devour. That was never written as casual advice. It is the warning of a father who understands exactly how his children are hunted. A lion does not attack the entire herd at once. It watches the one that drifts toward the edge, the one that becomes careless. So I ask you now with love, not accusation. Is there anything in your life you keep explaining away? Something you defend too quickly whenever your conscience begins speaking? You already know what it is. You knew before I completed that question. Stop naming it harmless. Shut that door before the thing waiting outside enters and becomes comfortable inside your life. I say this because I remember everything the enemy has already taken from you, and I will not willingly watch him take more. You carried a calling. You felt it. There was once a hunger within you for me. You knew somewhere inside that your life was meant to matter. Then something shifted. A distraction, a hurt, a failure, maybe a relationship that drew you away from the road, and you never completely regained your footing. That was not accidental, it was strategy. He did not have to ruin you. He only needed to silence you, to convince you that your past had disqualified you, to keep you occupied enough, discouraged enough, and distracted enough that your voice became quiet. Because a discouraged child of mine does not move freely in purpose, and an insecure one does not speak boldly. But hear me clearly, I never changed my decision about you. The calling I placed inside you did not expire during the years you wandered. I still call you. I still choose you. The plans I formed for you were not handed to someone else while you sat in disappointment. They remained, like a field wading through winter, alive beneath the ground, even while everything above looked dead. And you are still breathing, which means you still have time to recover what was taken. Return completely to me, not partly. Recover the hunger you carried before the hurt. The enemy is not most afraid of your talent. He fears your recovery. A child of mine who rises again with the knowledge gained through falling is more dangerous to his plans than one who never fell. So protect the new ground. Watch the little doors. Bring the hidden thing into my light while it is still small, because you already know what happens when it is allowed to grow. This is not a crushing demand. It is a father guiding his child through ground he knows completely. I see every trap placed ahead of you, and I will reveal them as the time comes. For now, keep this close. The step you took opened a door that heaven rejoices over and the enemy fears. Keep that door open by staying alert. What you protect with me cannot be stolen from you. Now I need to take you deeper into a place many of my children refuse to let me speak about. I want to speak about hidden things, not because I want to expose you, but because I want you free. Sin grows stronger in secrecy. The longer something remains in darkness, the more power its grip seems to have. Maybe you have fought a private habit for years. Maybe you carry a thought you would feel ashamed to admit. Maybe there is something from your past you convinced yourself could never be spoken to another person. And the enemy comes close and says, if they knew the truth, they would leave you. He says, hide it. Handle it alone. You can solve this yourself. But listen to the truth. The hidden thing is exactly what has been weakening the foundation beneath your prayers. My word says, confess to one another and pray for one another that you may be healed. Healing cannot fully begin while you keep protecting what continues hurting you. It cannot. You are standing guard outside the exact room. I keep asking you to let me enter. And understand this without confusion. I already know everything. Nothing you ever hid from others was hidden from me. I am not asking you to bring it into light so you can be embarrassed. I am asking because when confession begins, shame starts losing its power. The moment something hidden is spoken before me, it stops ruling you and begins becoming part of your past. I am not waiting to condemn you. I am waiting to remove the burden. There is another thing you have been doing, and I say it gently. You have been pushing away my warnings. That uncomfortable feeling you keep ignoring. That pull within your heart during an ordinary moment. That quiet conviction that appears when you are about to make the same choice again. Those feelings are not simply nerves. That is me speaking quietly because I always begin gently. Too many of my children hear that voice and answer, it is not serious. I will handle it later. And while they keep waiting, a foothold grows into a fortress. By the time the damage becomes obvious, the pattern has already grown deep. The cost of ignoring my warnings is not one sudden punishment, it is distance. Prayer begins to feel like it reaches nowhere. The heart slowly becomes less sensitive. The more often you silence my spirit, the quieter my voice seems to you. Not because I stopped talking, but because you trained yourself to stop listening. This is how people slowly move away from me, without ever choosing one day to leave. There is no single dramatic decision. There are only many small moments when they refuse to listen. And I am telling you this now, because I love you too deeply to watch you drift silently. I am speaking louder now, so you do not have to discover this through greater pain. Because when my children keep rejecting every gentle warning, I do not leave them, but sometimes I allow their comfort to break. And some things you have called suffering were exactly that. The heartbreak, the disappointment, the door that shut in front of you. It was not meaningless, and it was not cruelty. It was the moment when my voice, after being ignored in whispers, finally reached you through what happened around you. Some of you followed people I never sent into your life. You held tightly to habits I already asked you to release. You walked past one warning after another, because facing the truth felt too expensive. So I allowed pain to speak where you refused to listen. Not because I wanted to destroy you, but because I wanted to awaken you. I would rather interrupt your comfort than watch you walk smiling and unharmed toward destruction. That is not cruelty. That is the mercy of a father who sees the cliff his child cannot see. So if you are hurting now, stop asking only, why is this happening to me? That question can keep circling forever. Instead ask, what are you trying to tell me through this? What are you asking me to release? What have I refused to hear? What pattern have I lived with so long that I began believing it was normal? Pain brought into my presence becomes instruction. Pain that is ignored becomes repetition. And sooner or later you meet the same lesson again in another form. The worst thing you can do now is feel the seriousness of this warning, and then return to your old way of living. Do not agree with this message and change nothing. A warning that touches your heart but never reaches your actions has completed only half its work and then been wasted. So act today, not later. Speak the hidden thing before me aloud with your own mouth. Then find one trustworthy person who walks with me, and bring it into the light there too, because chains break more quickly in honest company, especially the pattern you have kept protected. If one road always carries you back to the same fall, stop taking that road, even if you know it well, even if leaving it requires something from you. And after you do that, allow me to do what only I can do. I never restore my children halfway. When I clean a heart, I do not keep returning to what I already washed away. The accuser will attempt to place the old record back into your hands again and again. Do not accept it. If I have released you, then you are truly free, and no voice on earth or in hell has authority to chain again what I have already freed. You wondered why every step forward eventually seemed to stop. Now you know where to look. It was never because I stopped working. Something hidden kept pulling the wheel back. Give it to me and notice how differently the road feels when nothing hidden is controlling the direction. This cleansing makes room for everything I promised. Do not be afraid of it. Beyond this honesty is a freedom you have not experienced in years. Now let me show you why many of my children begin strongly and still drift away. Because the step you took must become a way of walking, and that walk is held together by things the world rarely celebrates. The first trap is feelings. So many of my children follow me only while their emotions support them. When they feel warmth, they pray. When they feel cold inside, they wait until the warmth returns. But I never asked you to follow your feelings. I told you to follow me. Feelings move with the weather, with your sleep, with one sentence spoken by another person. If your faithfulness depends on them, it will rise and fall many times every year. Build your walk on decision, not feeling. The second trap is a lack of discipline. The world tells you, do it whenever you feel like doing it. My son said, deny yourself, carry your cross daily and follow me daily. Not only when it is convenient, not only when you feel inspired. There is no faithful life without quiet repetition that nobody applauds. A soldier prepares before war, not in the middle of it. A farmer works the ground in cold weather or has nothing to eat later. Do not reject routine. Routine builds what difficult moments later reveal. The third trap is a hungry spirit. You cannot remain close to me while consuming everything except my word. It is written, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from my mouth. If your days are full of empty noise, and you offer me whatever time remains, do not wonder why your faith becomes weak. The spirit, like the body, reflects what it consumes. Feed yourself truth and watch strength return. The fourth trap is compromise, and I have already shown you how it works. You cannot walk closely with me while playing with the exact thing I told you to put down. No one can serve two masters. A divided heart becomes a tired heart. Always negotiating, always exhausted. Remove the compromise completely. Half measures keep wounds from closing. And the fifth trap is a prayer life that has gone silent. Without prayer, you will drift. Not possibly. You will. My word says pray without ceasing. Prayer is not an empty ritual I require. It is the lifeline between your heart and mine. When conversation ends, distance starts growing. And in distance, every lie begins sounding believable. You do not need beautiful words. You need honest words. And you need them every day. Hear this and let the excuses finish. Faithfulness was never mainly about intensity. It is about consistency. Deny yourself each day. Feed yourself on my word. Keep talking with me. That is the whole structure. Easy to explain, costly to live, and worth everything it requires. Now I need to deal with the enemy standing on the road in front of you, because I can already see it between you and your next step. Its name is fear. You are not frozen because I failed to move. You are frozen because fear told you not to move and you listened. Understand what fear has been doing to you. Fear says you are not prepared. I say I am already beside you. Fear says you will fail. I say I will lead you. Fear creates detailed pictures of disasters that have never happened. And you have allowed those imaginary pictures to steal real opportunities that were actually in front of you. Every step you failed to take, hear me clearly. It was not because I had not called you. It was because fear became your master, and you called its voice wisdom. But I never placed a spirit of fear inside you. That anxious voice in your mind constantly imagining disaster is not my voice and never was. When you feed fear, faith becomes weak. When you stop feeding fear, faith begins rising. It is that simple. The enemy wins nothing through real power because he holds none over you. He wins through your silence, your delay, your refusal to move. He wins on every day you choose to stay small, and the step you just took proved once and for all that you can refuse his voice and the world does not fall apart. Remember that proof. Use it. There is another thing standing on the road, and you already know what I mean. That habit, the one you keep defending. You tell me you are ready for greater purpose, greater calling, and greater responsibility, and I love that desire inside you. But you cannot fully step into purpose while continuing to entertain your poison. That one thing is not harmless. It is making you weaker. It dulls your hearing, so my voice reaches you less clearly. It drains the strength required for the assignment you continue asking me about. I am not hiding your purpose. Your own pattern is standing in front of it. You do not need another sign. You do not need one more confirmation. You need to release the thing. If you want me to trust you with more, be faithful with the freedom already in your hands. The day you finally cut it away, you will be surprised by how quickly the fog begins clearing. Freedom does not start when you feel free. It starts when you stop defending what holds you. I know these words press strongly against you. I press because this hour matters and because you are ready to carry it now. 1 year ago, a word like this might have crushed you. Today it can strengthen you. That is how much you have grown, even when the growth was invisible to you. And do not hear any of this as disappointment from your Father. Hear it as confidence from your Father. I do not sharpen a tool I plan to throw away. I do not prune a branch I have abandoned. The vine dresser cuts the branch that already carries fruit, so that it can carry more. The fact that I am correcting you this carefully proves how seriously I take what I am about to do through your life. Say, I trust you, Lord. If you are ready to leave the old ways behind. Now allow your heart to become quiet, because after warning comes promise, and I keep every promise I make. What you started through obedience, I will sustain through my faithfulness. You did not move forward by yourself, and you will not have to stay on this road through your strength alone. I am involved in everything that concerns you, and I complete what I allow my children to begin. Write this across the doorway of your new season. I finish what I begin. I know your thoughts are already moving ahead, trying to predict what will happen and when it will happen. I understand your desire for certainty. But listen gently. I do not reveal the whole road at one time because trust develops step by step. I give enough light for the next step, not a map showing the entire journey. That light is enough. It has always been enough. A lamp is meant for your feet, not the distant horizon. When you walk beside me, your obedience will never be wasted. No courageous choice, no quiet surrender, no unseen act of faithfulness escapes my notice. Even when progress seems slow, I am moving. Even when a door remains closed longer than you expected, I am working beyond it. My timing protects you from reaching the door before it is prepared, and from having the door open before you are ready. I also promise peace to you. Not weak peace that lasts only while circumstances cooperate, but peace that settles your heart while answers are still taking shape. As you continue choosing me, you will begin noticing steadiness, taking the place of your old anxiety. Notice it when it arrives. That calm is not emptiness. It is the mark of alignment, the quiet sound of a life that has stopped fighting the one who made it. And understand this about what is ahead. There are things prepared for you that an earlier version of you could not carry. Not because you were unworthy, but because weight requires strength to hold it. A blessing placed on an unprepared life can become a burden, and I do not bless my children into collapse. The person who finally moved, who selected faith while fear was still shouting, can carry what comes next. So stop envying those who arrived before you. Reaching somewhere is easy. Remaining there is the real test. You did not act too late. Hear that and stop replaying the lost years. If you had moved earlier, the weight may have bent you. If you had waited longer, your restlessness could have become bitterness. My timing is exact even when you cannot understand it. And I am not asking you to explain it. I am asking you to stop judging yourself by a calendar I never used against you. Now, because I love you, let me protect this promise with 3 warnings. They seem small, but they can decide everything. First, do not search for approval from people who cannot hear what I told you. Not everyone will understand why you acted when you did. Some will question your timing. Some will wrap their own fear and concern and give it to you as advice. Love them. Respect them. But do not allow their uncertainty to rewrite your obedience. I spoke to you, not to them. A word given to one heart rarely survives being handed to a committee. Second, do not judge your obedience by quick results. You will feel tempted to search for immediate proof, fast changes, visible rewards. And if they fail to appear on your schedule, you may decide you misunderstood me. But obedience is proven through consistency, not speed. The seed you planted is doing what seeds always do, working beneath the surface, unseen before anything appears above the ground. Do not dig it up just to see whether it is growing. Leave it in my soil. Third, do not allow your past to disguise itself as home. There will be moments when your old stillness seems easier than the responsibility of moving forward, when the familiar cage looks warm from far away. But remember how heavy that place truly felt. Remember the restlessness you carried while calling it peace. What I freed you from is not shelter. It only looks attractive from a distance. Do not return simply because it is familiar. Familiar does not mean safe. And through all of this, remember that resting is different from retreating. You are allowed to become tired. You are allowed to pause and breathe. But rest with me, not inside your old patterns. Lean on me when the journey feels long. I never told you to carry this alone, and I never will. The strength required tomorrow will come tomorrow. The strength you have today is meant for today, and you already have it, or you would not still be here listening. Do not compare your speed with anyone else. I am not shaping you to look like another person. I am forming you into the exact design I had in mind when I created you, and nobody else on earth was given your assignment. Your pace is not wrong. Your process is not a mistake. Even during the days when you feel weak, I continue strengthening the foundation. Even while you question yourself, I remain steady. And it is my steadiness, not your own, that keeps all of this together. I am proud of you because you continued when stopping would have been easier. I am proud that you refused to give up on yourself. Let that enter your heart, not as pride, but as confidence. The fact that you moved at all proves that fear no longer owns the final word in your life. It may continue talking. It probably will. But talking is all it can do now. It no longer sits at the head of your table. So hold tightly to my promises when your emotions move up and down. Allow them to anchor you when nights feel long and answers remain quiet. I am faithful, and I do not change my mind about those I call forward. What I have started within you will continue unfolding with purpose, peace, and grace. You are held. You are secure in my hands. And the road ahead will receive light one step at a time, exactly when your foot needs somewhere to land. Now we have reached the moment that asks for your answer. Not tomorrow. Not after you become more confident now. What I ask from you is not perfection. I ask for a decision. Faith is not proven through feelings. It is shown through choices. And today you must choose once again. You already took one step, and I received it with joy. But obedience cannot remain one single moment. It must become the position of your heart. I am inviting you into another way of living. A life where you ask me daily. Where you trust me with small matters and large matters. Where you move beside me, not racing ahead through anxiety, and not falling behind because of fear. I know there is still a part of you that wants reassurance before every choice. You want complete certainty that you heard me correctly. You want a promise that nothing difficult will happen. But certainty is not the ground where faith grows. Faith grows when you trust who I am even while the result remains hidden. I am asking you to put your confidence in me, not in outcomes. So pray even when you are uncertain. Move even when your voice trembles. Continue even when progress seems slow. These decisions are not small. Every one is another stone placed into the life I am building with you. And each time you choose me, fear loses another part of its old grip. Release your need to manage every detail. Control can feel safe, but it will exhaust you until your whole life becomes management. Trust can feel risky, but it is the only path that will ever bring you into green pastures. I am not asking you to become careless. I am asking you to surrender. Bring me your plans, your fears, and your hopes, and allow me to put them in order. Guard your heart with equal seriousness. Pay attention to what you permit to shape you, what you hear, what you think about, and what you repeatedly speak over yourself. Every part matters. Words are seeds, including the words you plant within your own heart. Choose words that agree with truth instead of fear. Choose thoughts that strengthen faith instead of anxiety. You are responsible for what you agree with, so agree with what I have already spoken over you. I am calling you toward consistency, not intensity. You do not need powerful emotion every day in order to remain faithful. You need quiet commitment. Some days obedience will feel natural, and other days it will feel like carrying a heavy stone uphill. I will remain with you through both, and heaven counts both the same. Let this become the season when you stop making deals with fear. Stop waiting for other people to give you permission. Stop shrinking whenever you feel seen. You are not walking without guidance. You are walking beside me. And a child walking with their father is never truly lost, even when the road is unfamiliar. Now come nearer and allow your heart to become still, because I do not want to finish with instructions. I want to finish with peace. You have carried so much pressure, so many thoughts, so many questions that stayed beside you at night when you wanted sleep instead. Put that weight down now. Place it into my hands where it is safe, and where it was always meant to be. You are safe with me. I spoke firmly today, because I wanted this moment marked inside your spirit. You surprised me. Not because I believed you would fail, but because you finally trusted me enough to move. You stopped waiting until every feeling became perfect. You stopped giving fear the deciding vote. Carry this truth after this moment, and after my voice grows quiet. I do not measure you the way people do. I look at your heart. I honor the surrender you gave when nobody was present to praise it. So allow this to settle gently inside you. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. I stayed with you in every hidden place, and I will remain with you through every open door. The same hand that held you steady during your first step will hold you steady through every step that follows. You do not need to carry your entire future today. I will place it in your hands one day at a time, and I will not lead you through confusion. My voice brings clarity. My presence brings peace. When something pushes you through panic and shame, examine it carefully, because that is not how I lead you. I draw you. I do not drag you. You still have questions without answers. I know you do. You still wonder exactly how everything will happen. But hear me. Unknown does not mean dangerous. It means you are being invited to trust me beyond what you can understand. I am not leading you toward anxiety. I am leading you toward maturity, and maturity often feels quiet. It feels like peace entering rooms that once held tension. So breathe. Let your shoulders relax. Let your thoughts slow down. I am already farther along the road than you. I am arranging what you cannot arrange. I am softening what you cannot soften. I am opening what you cannot force. Your responsibility is not to panic. Your responsibility is to remain close. When doubt comes again, and it will, do not fight it alone. Bring it to me. When you become tired, rest beside me, not away from me. When your old life calls you back, remember what it truly weighed, not how it advertises itself. You are not returning because I am leading you forward. And everything I promised is waiting ahead. Now one last truth before I release you into what comes next. What you carry today is not what you carried before. Before, you carried questions and called them wisdom. You carried hesitation and named it discernment. You carried fear and called it patience. But today you carry proof. Proof that you can act. Proof that when my voice calls, your heart can answer. That proof belongs to you permanently. No person can argue it away because it already happened. The next time fear speaks, you will remember this day. You will remember that you chose to move forward, and that memory will carry you through the next doorway and the one beyond it. This is how I build my children. Not through one great moment of fire, but through 1,000 quiet moments placed one on another until the life I designed begins standing strong. You are living inside that process now. Do not reject it. Receive it. Every faithful step you take from this moment becomes another stone placed correctly, another layer in the foundation, another part of a life rising. Not through your power alone, but through mine working within your willingness. And that is enough. You are enough for what I am asking because I am enough for everything you will face. The people you love and carry in prayer are included in this promise. Just as I have watched over your life, I am watching over theirs, and your obedience is opening roads that others will one day walk beside you. Move forward now, my child. Carry this peace into every place you enter. Let your life become the answer you kept asking me to give. What started today is only the beginning, and I will complete what I started within you. If you receive all that I have spoken over your life today, declare I receive it. Amen. And walk forward with me. We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.